All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Golden Kamuy, Season 3, Episode 3. Let's save a Sherpa.
We gotta find her. But we know where she is, kind of.
Yeah, she's enjoying her seal meat. And just, it's way too fatty, and, you know, maybe she's eating too much of it. Yeah.
But so far, I like that nobody has turned this into a hostage situation on her end of things.
Yep.
She thinks that everything is just fine.
And Shirai's there to watch over her, so.
yeah. For what good
as best he
do.
can, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's
exactly.
something. Yeah.
But we have been introduced to one of the most ostentatious, mustachioed gambling man representing his country
Of
in
Russia.
the best way possible.
Yep. The fact that we got, when we introduced the Russians, we got Sugimoto fight a Wolverine with the hammer and sickle while naked.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
That's
Golden
That's
Kamuy.
just peak masculinity right there.
Exactly.
Right.
Uh-huh. The Wolverine was trying to seize his means of reproduction.
This is what the bourgeoisie are afraid of.
Yeah. Just a bunch of manly naked men in an onsen.
Yeah, with their agricultural tools.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Rise up. But yo, without further ado, let's get into this.
Okay.
Damn, they do
Okay.
eat anything. Yeah, I'll bet.
Silver foxes have gotten a lot more popular recently. Okay. I like this as a potential complication for him.
Yep. Shit.
Okay.
Oh. Damn.
Okay.
Nice. Multicolored. Different. Split between two, so they're neither.
Yeah.
All right. It's a journey to reclaim the past,
Yeah.
and then maybe abandon what isn't worth reclaiming. Wow.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, no, Nikaido.
Oh my god. Yes, I love it. Always need to see Nikaido.
You're like,
Yeah. Is Tsunami gonna have to like spoon feed him back to health?
The robot sounds.
Yeah.
Hey!
What? It also has a cannon mounted in it. Gotta say, given your last, invention, it's a bit lackluster, you know? God, I love looking at this face.
Das Vidanya.
Yes.
Fuck Lieutenant Surumi,
Yeah.
Nice.
That is true. Yeah.
It's not about you getting hurt.
Right.
Others. Going back in time. Yeah. Oh, yes. Hina
Okay.
Hina.
It's so weird seeing Tsurumi like that.
Because of, like, the food, yeah. Oh.
So it was like a thing of ridicule for everyone else.
Oh. Your name is Hajime? Fuck.
All right.
There's nothing you could do. You just
Yeah.
shamed.
Ah, shit. And then what happened to her next? Why can't we just have, like, happiness?
Oh no, wait. Did she just give up on waiting, or?
Or did... no. No.
Did his
No.
dad?
No, I think she might have, maybe because she was an outcast, she lost hope.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, yeah, black out and come to and holy shit.
He didn't want to know. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to know. No.
And the fact that theoretically she could still be out there, but
Yeah, she's probably
But you
not,
don't know,
because
she's
he
probably
found,
not.
He found, like, some evidence of her, like, her sandals and stuff, so.
right.
It's Igogusa, not Igogusa. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I believe him now.
Yeah.
I believe
okay.
him. Oh, damn!
Holy shit. Yeah,
Tsurumi!
this would
I
get
follow
his
you to
loyalty.
the end of the
Yeah.
ends of the earth. Yeah. And that's wow. Proof.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh. Do you have a reason to live? Okay. Because now I am a murderer. Yeah.
And she was able to accept that I was gone.
No, you speak Russian really well. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Wow. Tsurumi, you are amazing. Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I will say though, that explains why he's with Tsurumi and everything, because
Right.
he doesn't fit with the rest of the Seventh.
And yet he is still has that crazed killer within him too. You know?
Yeah.
Whoa. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. No.
Holy shit.
He made that whole story up to
Oh
motivate
my
him.
god.
Oh, the truth was worse than the.
Fuck.
Oh no, no, no! The truth was
9
worse than
years.
the lie. He didn't want him to know the truth. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fragile
He's
now.
gonna be
like,
broken.
Yeah. And this is how he instills loyalty.
Is this when Tsurumi gets wounded?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Whoa. And that's the wound.
yeah,
That's the head wound.
uh-huh.
Fuck. He's lying right next to him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck.
fuck, man.
Okay.
How does he keep doing it? He keeps peaking as a character. It's Sugimoto.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
That's so cool. Oh.
Okay.
Shit, yeah. And they might accept you back there. They might. They might. Wow. Now, you might not
Wait,
be able to go back
so-
to her. Yeah, because those...
Right, so she
Yeah,
so she is actually still alive.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Wow.
鶴見中尉殿に救われた命ですから。残りはあなたのために使うつもりです。そして死んでいった者たちのためにも。今その言葉が月島から聞けてよかった。
Yep. And just by coincidence, someone told you the lies. No, Tsunami even had them intentionally tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is she actually dead?
Well, the thing is that he needs to have him intentionally give her up.
Right. Yeah, that way he'll actually be
Fully loyal.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
Get those military snare
I get the
drum
feeling
sounds
Tsunami
coming
might be
in.
the main baddie of the show.
What? You're just now figuring it
Well,
out?
I mean, Hijikata kind of had the look of like,
No,
maybe,
no.
but like this is some like this is some epic villain shit right here.
All right.
That was delightful.
Nikaido, funny moment, and Ishirpa kind of reestablishing the dynamic moment with them finding
stuff.
where the village used to be. It's good.
I like that as a complication for Kiroranke and everybody, you know, where it's the, hey, this isn't as straightforward as we would have hoped, so they can still be struggling and trying to figure things out.
Right, but that Tsukishima backstory.
Wow.
What is it with having in season 3 the random Tsukishima development in these fucking anime, y'all? Holy shit.
Like,
so
yeah, if I had a nickel, it wouldn't be a lot, but it'd be weird that it happened twice.
Happened twice,
Yeah. And every time we get additional looks into Tsurumi as a character, I love him more and more, and I'm more and more terrified
of him.
You know, like because he's
competent.
He's competent, and he was cooking long before the brain damage. You know, like Tsukishima had been with him for 9 years before that happened. So Tsurumi was planning shit for a very long time. I wouldn't even be surprised if the whole disaster with the 7th was actually indirectly because of him, like intentionally.
So there's a couple things you can go with that. Like maybe, but the main thing is that he was in Abashiri back then.
Yep.
Way back then. found out about the gold. He had, obviously the means by which he would then get put into the wartime situation, which would give him the opportunity to build a cohort of people around
Loyal
him
people, yeah.
that he could then, use.
Yep.
Now, Tsukishima, being someone who came from a position that was hopeless,
Right.
Tsurumi saw that and tapped into the hope that he could maybe save this guy. But this guy didn't want to be saved.
Right.
In a lot of ways, the hopelessness of having your love be lost and potentially even dead and lost because of your murderer father that you then killed in a fit of rage with no direct evidence to doing that.
Oh, yeah.
That would break someone to their tiniest little pieces, little fragments. And
But
yet,
you know how the saying goes, when, we are at our lowest point, we're open to the greatest change.
and yet that's the wildest thing, is that Tsurumi didn't even try and win him here.
No.
He needed to break him even further.
Yeah.
He needed to get him to where he was nothing. And so he then concocts this triple layered lie, or double, triple, whatever you want to call it. I love that Tsurumi, through the outset of this, could be viewed with the lie in your head as still a person that was like, yeah, but I still saved your life.
Right.
So,
the fact that I'm being utilitarian with you after the fact, sure, but as long, because it's not that I'm saving you, and then I'm being utilitarian. I'm being utilitarian in the way that I save you, right? So once he saves him, that also is what makes him loyal. So at that point, I did a good thing and I benefited from it at the same time. So, and at that point, it's already been done. He's not doing anything additional to twist Tsukishima's arm, other than maybe the whole lie, having the person show up to give the lie so that way he then realizes that Tsurumi was lying, to have the real test of loyalty when, then it's actually no, that was a lie, right? And yada, yada, yada. And the thing is that he could actually be telling the truth there, or it could still be a lie. And he just told that person to tell him the thing so that way he could say, no, this is what it actually was. Regardless, he got Tsukishima to completely give up on the person that would have been the superseding loyalty.
There's so many things that he did here. By giving him hope that he'd see her again, he gives him a reason to live. Problem one solved, in that he wants to be saved.
Right.
He then saves him by concocting the lie about
learn Russian
the
and
father. All that. Well, that too, but the father being the one that killed the daughter, and he thought then that this was done by the father in a brash kind of moment there. That gives him then actual official confirmation that he can get him as a soldier, even though he was a death row prisoner.
Right.
That's already a little minor miracle as well. Then he sets him up to undermine the hope so that when the war is over, he won't leave Tsurumi to go find her, by then going, no, she's actually dead. Then in that moment, he barely has anything, and he chooses Tsurumi in a moment of desperation so that he'll have something in this world.
Right.
And because Tsurumi gave him one lifeline that was set up to be his only one there, Tsurumi being the source of that lifeline, when he plucks that and basically goes, you're awash, you're alone in the world, he's like, but you have me. Come back to me.
Right.
And then he saves his life.
And also,
because, Tsurumi did save his life from being on death row.
And I just want to point out, even though there was the interruption over the artillery blast, right? So, it did seem like Tsurumi was about to tell him what he told him afterward.
Yes.
He didn't actually tell him because of that, or maybe he was still going to do that.
Maybe he's going to tell it a little bit later,
he demonstrated his loyalty to Tsurumi in that moment when he thought that she was gone.
Yeah.
And because of that, once he tells him, it doesn't matter because he's already chosen Tsurumi. Right?
Now here's the part that's really cool about that, though. This is where Tsurumi is not just a Machiavellian monster here. He did throw Tsukishima to safety in that moment there.
Right.
And basically, if things had gone the way that Tsukishima had wanted, he would have shielded Tsurumi from the blast and probably died. He probably would have taken the head wound to the back there or something.
Sure.
But instead, Tsurumi gets the piece of it, chunks off like the part of his forehead and everything. And we get the iconic look of Tsurumi.
Right.
But in that moment, that was a choice that Tsurumi made with no benefit to himself, no utilitarian aspects of it. He basically rolled the dice on, if this works out and I'm a lucky son of a bitch, this will work out perfectly.
Right. And that's where it only works kind of because he's crazy, right?
Right. Exactly.
And it's the, I'm like both crazy, but also like in a weird way not, because it's because he has such a zealous conviction,
right,
that it's the, I will do this because I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's sink or swim. If this works, great. If it doesn't, I guess I'm dead.
Right. But the argument could be made that, remember, the reason why he himself admitted that he's a little loopy is because of the head wound. In some ways, this was the last sane decision that he ever made as well, because it's one that you could say he did with fully no self-benefit.
Right, because he does actually care about Tsukishima, even though it's the, hey, I was doing all of this stuff to get to use you, but I also saw somebody who had given up on life and I wanted to save you.
Right, and that's where I think the character of Tsurumi has this perfect contradiction. There's something in Tsurumi that is fiercely loyal to like his own vision of Japan or the Japanese in some way. And when he saw effectively who he could tell was an innocent man who still did kill someone, he probably saw something in himself, in him, or he saw something in this man that's like, no, I'm going to make you my pet project. I'm going to save you, because if I can't save you, can I save my country? Can I even save anybody? And so this was like some kind of test for him, some kind of experiment or decision. It could have been his own little Machiavellian thing there, because he's like, I could get this guy's loyalty if I play my cards right. But the fact that then the head wound, which was the, up until now we've kind of seen it as the source of his own brand of madness. We saw that little bit of wild in Tsurumi before this, but
and there's a part of me that thinks, okay, it could totally be that there's genuine belief and care in a lot of the things that Tsurumi does, and amidst all of the craziness, amidst the manipulativeness that to varying degrees the people around him see.
Yeah, usually there is nuance.
Yeah, so, there is nuance, and that's what makes them still follow him, right? Which absolutely makes sense if you have a manipulative person, right? There will be some elements of good aspects in there, and that's how they string you along.
Yeah.
But what if the head wound was actually the excuse that Tsurumi needed to then be like, cool, now I can behave in a way that is a bit
He's
more...
He's opportunistic enough to think like that.
That is a bit more open about my crazier side, and people won't see that as a bad thing, at least not the people close to me.
Well, they won't balk at it as much.
They won't balk at it because they know this is the sign that I am with you.
Right. Like, I could see that. I could see it also as being a post-op kind of branding, if you will.
Sure.
That he basically goes, this is going to give me, like you're saying, that little bit of excuse, but also a little bit of an identifying thing of, if you're with me, my nature is such that I am fiercely wild, but I get stuff done.
Right.
Despite my being crazy, wild, insane, a bit kooky, I have results. So that draws attention even more to the what could be just average officer results of a good officer, to being like, yeah, but Tsurumi survived that thing there.
Right.
And it also fits a little bit with, I think it's more opportunistic, like that he then goes, yeah, but look, I'm like you. I'm like a regular soldier. I'm walking around with a near-death wound on me that
I've lost a chunk of my brain.
Right, that I'm willing to get down and dirty with all y'all.
Right.
So.
And also on top of that, if he ends up wanting to do the thing where, yes, he carrot and stick, right? He motivates people and he stokes their loyalty. But at the same time, there's that little bit of fear of, if you piss me off, because I'm a little bit unstable, and it's not my fault, damn it. This is just a thing that
My
it
burden
just
to
happens
bear.
now. My burden to bear. My temper just sort of, like, that was one of the first things he said. My temper just sort of flares up because of this thing, right?
And I kind of believe him, even if he is maybe taking advantage of that
Sure.
being a tendency. But I just love that now we have Tsukishima not with Tsurumi, acting on his own independent and kind of doing the, no, fuck Tsurumi, I'll act on my own.
Right.
He has given me full prerogative and
yeah.
authority here, so I don't need to check up on him. But there was no like indication of him being like, I can't stand that I've always had to follow Tsurumi's orders.
There
it's
was
more the no, I know who I am. I know who Tsurumi is, and yes, he's used me absolutely, but I am 100% with him.
And this is, I feel like, one of the final pieces that we needed to see, in some ways more than Tsurumi's own backstory, in order to understand Tsurumi, because Tsukishima was the oddball. It's the
he didn't fit
amidst all the crazy of the seventh, and he's still a brutal man.
He's a cold son of a bitch,
right? But not Ogata levels or anything like that,
True,
right?
true.
Like he seems very functioning, the type of character that I
like
would.
Sugimoto, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I would expect him to almost become one of the crew,
Right. He probably could be.
He probably could be, but this is why he's not, and this is why he's with Tsurumi after all this time. So. Awesome. Love it.
He has the monster. He has the monster that came before the war.
Yeah.
And I like that was addressed here, and that his monster wasn't made before the war. It was made by another man who basically said, hey, that little thing you've got, that spark, that something there, that's mine. I want it. I want all of it. And Tsurumi got all of it.
Yeah.
So we've never really seen, if you will, what, Tsukishima really could be if he was, unleashed and wild like Tsurumi. But in some ways, he will never be like that because Tsurumi has that. That's Tsurumi's now. And
okay.
I kind of like the idea that when we saw, him putting on the plate, Tsurumi putting on the plate, we see Tsukishima and he's just there.
Yeah,
He's
in the
not,
back of the room.
He doesn't show any kind of striking emotion.
Yeah.
If anything, he's got this little bit of he doesn't care.
Yeah,
he's
like
kind
that,
of apathetic.
That would be the kind of situation where I would expect, not that I expect this from Tsukishima, but in general, if I were to see that kind of setup, this is where the sensible person, because they're at the back of the room, would quietly dip out and leave, and just, get out of the seventh or something like that, because they see, oh shit, leader is going a bit,
right.
nuts.
This is who I'm following. Am I really wanting to follow this person?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
this were a different type of story and Tsukishima were a different type of character.
But he goes out there and he gets rid of the hair.
Right. Yes.
Like that, which is
yes.
Wow.
Which is showing that Tsurumi won. He got what he wanted.
Yep.
Not only is all of this working with him being loyal, but even the question of whether or not the lie keeps going.
Yeah. Is she actually alive or not?
And
right?
he basically gives up on the answer and throws her hair away.
Yeah.
That's
holy shit.
That is the power of Tsurumi right there. Because he basically told him, I'm manipulating you. I'm lying to you.
And you're still going to accept
going to accept that. And in some ways, you're going to prefer it to going back to that situation where you were, where you hoped.
Yeah.
And you got
you don't know.
And you don't know.
Yeah.
And you almost went into that blind rage again and killed somebody.
Yeah.
But no.
Like what happens if it's like, if he were to decide, you know what, instead of throwing the hair away, I'm actually going to go. I'm going to throw all this behind. And then he goes there and he finds out, Tsurumi was lying to him the whole time.
Yep.
She is actually dead. What does he do at that point? Go back and try and kill Tsurumi? Like he wouldn't have a place there anymore because he had left, so, yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring up also something that's very small and tiny, but in this anime, they do people's eyes in very stylistic ways in order to communicate certain aspects about their character.
Yeah.
The eyes are not going for, photorealism in our 2D anime here.
Ogata is probably the most noticeable
example
of that
among
for me.
a couple others, but yes. But the thing about Tsukishima's is that he's always had this kind of narrowed eyes with this blank, dead, just circle. There's not much really going on there.
Yep.
But the thing that I've always thought about that was that he gave me the inquisitive kind of like he's intelligent.
Yeah,
he's scrutinizing. He's not taking everything at face value. He's intelligent. But the one time we see his eyes different is when he's about to beat the shit out of Tsurumi in the part where he finds out is a lie, and his eyes are grayed like he's so close to going into that blacking out rage moment there.
Yep.
And so the fact that Tsurumi intentionally had that guy tell him, he almost in his own, this is the madness that I was maybe hinting at. He wanted to see
playing with fire.
He wanted to see what kind of monster would have been unleashed upon his father that day.
Yeah.
By having him tell that. And
nice. I like it.
I just love the idea that Tsurumi's like, yes, Tsukishima. Let it out.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Right.
Because that's what I'm going to
No
have.
stand back soldiers,
Yeah. It's just, so good.
I also feel like this show has kind of ruined me because in other stories, when the token crazy character comes up, I was already kind of done with it, but there was a part of me that accepted it because it's like, okay, but they're trying, right?
We're so sold on Tsurumi.
We've eaten so good with Tsurumi. That whole archetype, like it's now going to be competing with this,
Right.
Like
I think it's also the setting of the type of story that we're in.
Oh yes, tonally it works perfectly for this kind of antagonist.
And the level of maturity that's coming into this story is far and above most of the. I mean, because you can't compare something like this to something that's being marketed to teens, and stuff.
Sure, but at the same time, I just love hearing level of maturity and then naked dudes, posing in a.
I know that's the fun distinction there, but. Yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful story, and Tsurumi is such a delightful antagonist.
Right.
Because
we're
now,
cheering for him, and we're also
now,
like, you sick son of a bitch.
Right now, the only reason why he's not the antagonist is because he's helping Sugimoto. And this could all change once we get a Shirpa, because there's a world line where Kiroranke and Ogata don't see eye to eye. And this goes one way or the other, where, Kiroranke maybe comes around full circle and realizes, I actually care more about the Ainu than I do about getting the gold.
Or Ogata's like, you're not dependable anymore, and just, oh no, we're far away, and a bullet just happens to just go right between, your ribs.
I have a few praises to this show that are like singular, but this is one that I've got that I think a lot of anime specifically give me. There are some anime where you're just terrified of certain characters and what they'll do.
Okay.
I have so many of those characters in this anime where I'm like,
yes,
I don't know what you won't do.
I feel like this show is in a lot of ways made for you with your love of the ensemble cast, because it's not just the number of characters or the colorful nature of the characters.
It's the depth they go into each one.
It's the depth they go into each one, but I wasn't even going to say that. It's the agency that they give to each one.
Yes, that too.
Right? Because having an ensemble cast, the biggest problem with it is not making it so that we understand the characters. I mean, sure, that's a problem, but it's making it feel like all of them have agency and are actually going to do things, as opposed to just being like an amalgamation that gets summed up into one sort of group, and then they all just they have the one leader that's actually doing everything
I could go off about a certain society of souls that has an ensemble cast that were amazingly used in one arc and then were never used that way again.
I see. The thing is, I have several shows that I'm thinking of.
I do too. This is just the first one for me. But anyhow, it's not trying to throw stray shots out there, but y'all, this anime is a fantastic one, and Gotta love Surumi. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So, yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.